Hey guys, hope y'all are doing great today. Welcome to part 3 of this week's food forest tours. Apple tree right here is still mostly dormant, surprisingly. It's got a few little buds down there, or some leaves, some leaves coming out right down there. Got some blueberries right there on that one. It's looking good. Young plum tree. It's got a lot of good shoots coming out, about 6 inches or so already, so that's really exciting to see. Some of the apple trees are really starting to come out. This one's got some nice good growth right here on this smaller tip. It's looking really healthy. Got some shoots for some hopefully potential branches coming off of this one, and the top's finally starting to poke out of those red leaves that have been there all winter, so it's looks like it's finally taken off. Thing with this young apple tree, got some nice healthy growth on it, on the tips mainly right now, and probably filling on these branches. This was one of the bigger apple trees that grew last year. It grew all this growth last year. It's about probably almost 7 feet tall, and looks like it's got some new healthy shoots too. It doesn't look quite as healthy as the other ones, but it's still doing good. And to grow that tall all in 1 year last year was really a whole lot for apples here. So excited to see that. This bigger pomegranate's got some little leaves coming out. See that shoot down near the very bottom down there, so it's coming out from the bottom too and probably thicken up, but also glad these branches are pushing out some good leaves so far. Taking a look at the earthworks and the pools, water harvesting and kind of planting scheme is, as you can probably saw earlier in the video, I've dug out these pools recently right here. They filled in really fast. There's one up there, one down here, and then all the soil, I've made these kind of mounds kind of connect between the fruit trees, and the water kind of runs in kind of from this side. These mounds haven't really been built up as tall. There's a little bit down there that's done, but not right here yet. And so the water will kind of rain in, hopefully kind of sink in. I kind of roughed out the mounds for a lot of it, so there's a lot of little spots that the water can kind of seep in and still hold even though it's on a hill. And then that water will hopefully kind of slowly seep down into the center here. And this ditch haven't finished, but it would run a kind of the whole length along in between right here. And so it kind of would come in right here. This going downhill this direction, it would fill, this pool fills up. This is uphill right here, so it's being fed, water's coming into it right there. And then as this pool fills up, it will overflow. There's a small little ditch right there. I'll probably make that bigger just in case we get a lot of rain, and when it flows into that pool. Got these nice mounds that can be planted with veggies. Get some berries in there, some blackberries, and might even try blueberries on there. Might do them kind of near the bottom of the mounds, and then have some all kinds of veggies, and maybe might move some of the pomegranates and figs onto those. And so like when it flows into this one, it flows out right there down further into the food forest. I made a recent video where it had rained a little bit. It was before I had dug this out actually, and just dug this out yesterday I think actually, or maybe the day before. But it was still kind of almost, it was actually filled up to the kind of top of the soil level right here, so the ditch wasn't complete yet, and it had filled up a little bit in this pool. And once I removed that, all the water kind of just poured right down, and it went into this pool. So that was kind of cool to see just to me, but I'm easily entertained, but I thought it was pretty neat. And it filled up in here, and then it actually a little bit even trickled down into the next pool, but neither of these pools are really fully dug out yet, so hoping to do that soon as I can get to it, trying to do those and finish these mounds so I can get some good stuff planted on them, hopefully today actually. This is a European plum, and it is just going crazy. It's got probably more than 12 inches of growth right here already, and just super thick and looking really good, which is surprising because most people say that European plums don't grow well here, which I'm sure they're probably right, but that particular variety maybe likes it here, so I'm really excited to see that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and plant some summer veggies on these. I think I've got some cucumbers, squash, okra, a few other things. I hadn't looked at my seeds recently. I'm trying to think, green beans. So I just, as I mentioned in earlier videos, I just scatter the seed and just let them come in, and they should hopefully fill in that really good over there, help create some nutrients rich soil by, the ones that aren't as tough will die off, and their leaves and growth will, mulch down the soil for the ones that continue to grow for the stronger ones. So it's also selecting the best ones to grow, and then also the other ones are mulching your soil. You don't have to do anything. It's super low maintenance. Just cast the seed and harvest the veggies. So it's really, really preferable in my opinion to I've really liked growing that way so far when I did it in the kind of main garden section up there last year. So that was really nice. Have some updates from that soon, hopefully. Apples leafing out at the top right there. The blueberries looking really healthy. Fire ants are after something down here. Not sure what they're after. Well, they just looks like they're crossing through it from one side to the other. Where this closed up, or I'm sorry, where it drained down, there was some water life before I had dug it out that was kind of in this section up top, and it didn't make it. So, they died, I guess, like it was some bugs and stuff, and the fire ants were just going to town. Just making use of the life and everything, so that was pretty interesting. That blueberries is the one that's being protected by the twigs right here. Got lots of good growth here on this side. Pear trees looking really good. It's kind of stopped growing right now. Hopefully it'll, once this soil kind of gets covered right here and have some more nutrients and build up that healthy soil, hopefully it'll go ahead and get going again and have some good growth keeping going. The little apple tree right here is starting to leaf out. That's good to see. You can kind of see of where the water will flow down this way. I've also got mounds right here on this side, and the mounds will go kind of along the ditch here, just like they go along in this row right here. So everywhere, hopefully get the water will kind of funnel down to the middle, and that'll help focus the water in here and to store it in these sections and to move it throughout the food forest. This is probably an example of Fireblight, so that's what that can do to the tree and some of the clusters. But just right beside it, you see that's a nice healthy pear. These all look really good and unaffected. Some other clusters like this one are hit harder. And then let's see, I just saw another big one somewhere. I've already lost it. But quite a few of these later flowering ones. Well, there's a good pear right there actually. That one's pretty good size. Some of these other clusters that are later flowering get more affected by the Fireblight, but hopefully enough have bloomed already that they will have some good pears. Thanks for tuning in to part 2, guys. I'll see you in part 3 soon. And if you liked the video, hit like, be great. Make a comment saying you liked it. I'd like to thank those that are liking it. Some have been doing that so far, and thank you so much. And I'll see you in part 3 soon. Bye, guys.